So we have to do some adjustments. That is not a problem. You can actually do it within here, but it's not too controllable. Notice how it's doing that arrow on the double arrow thing. I could hit on it and I could start to move it back and forth. After I've done that, so it's like a little pinch. I could go ahead and move things over. But it's not. This is not too controlling, and it's very difficult. So I will avoid doing that, even though I'm getting kind of close to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just enter that real quick. That's done. And I'm going to go to menu, like I did before. I'm going to hit menu. And I'm going to go to Windows. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to go to plot type. And I make sure it's doing the right thing. I want the bend to be correct. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Get the bend to be correct. So I'm going to go to plot properties, which is 2, enter it. Histogram properties, which is 2, enter it. And I'm going to do the bend settings, which is 2, enter it. And once again, it's supposed to be equal bandwidth, which is 1. Notice how I came pretty close, but it wasn't that good. Wait, it was supposed to be 15, not 14.062 on. So I'm going to go in here and say, nope, 15. And the alignment is supposed to be the lower limit that we have there, and we can press OK. Okay. So everything's good. Okay, it's highlighted now, so I can enter. So now it's perfect. Now it looks good. Oh, did I just move it? Dang it. I just moved it. Dang it. It was, okay. Whew. I'm about to say no. But anyways, we see the same thing now. So we want it to be the vertical like I had before. That's not difficult. We can just go back to settings so we can show that it's showing the same thing. And now I'm going to go to Windows, okay, to ensure it looks the same. So I'm going to go to Windows settings, and I'm doing something I did before. The X-min was supposed to be, we had at 0, the max we had at 100, and the Y max was at 10. No, 8. It was at 8. But I really do wish that they had scale. The scale would have been nice, even for the x-axis. It would be great to have more options here for the scaling, which I'm hoping I can do later on, or find a way to make these more easy. So now I could go down and have enter OK highlighted, and I can enter it, or just scroll down to it. And notice how the graphic is the same now. This is the same graph as in the page before, on 1.4, and we'll see that. I'm going to go over here and click on 1.4 and see that we have the same graph. We have the exact same graph. One we got from data, the other one we got from using the table. Isn't that amazing? And so we could graph it the same way there. Okay. Using bottom point, using the scaling. And over here did even need two scales. So I would just keep consistent to the scales here. I wouldn't really mind, just make sure it's consistent. That's the most important part. Consistency. Anyways, we got that out of the way. So now let's get to the whole polygon. So we got this out of the way, the only thing we have to do now is the polygon. And how the polygon works. So I'm going to show you how the polygon works. It is from chapter 2.4. It should be over here in chapter 2.3, but it's not. So here we go. So what is the midpoint? The midpoint is the mid-distance, or the midway between the boundaries or the limits, depending on what you're using. The limits or boundaries. Over here is boundaries, so we're going to go halfway between these guys. And right here, I'm just going to guesstimate it for right now. I'm just going to do a quick graph, and we're going to see how it's being transitioned when we make the table and make the graph for it. We'll see how it transitions. So now it corresponds to the frequency goes right here, 6. And between these two boundaries, I get the midpoint, the midway, and I put a point where the frequency lies, or at the top of the rectangle. Sitting over here, midway between the two boundaries, and the point goes right there, where the rectangle stops, which corresponds to the frequency. Same thing over here, I go midway between the boundaries. Point is here. Over here, same thing, midway between the boundaries, and the point is here. Okay. But one thing you have to understand about a polygon starts and ends at 0, no matter what. So it has to look like a mountain. So like a mountain. So what we are going to do here is I'm going to get the midpoint of the interval that happens to be before the first interval. So all we're doing is this one class width away of the midpoint, which seems about right. And in this region, it's going to be 0. And so this happened over here, I had to get a midpoint outside of the interval right next to the highest interval. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go with the class width. And it appears to be somewhere right here, and I'm going to put a point there. And these are frequency zeros, because they're on the x-axis where 0 is at. So all we do now is make the line graph by connecting the dots. So I'm going to do so. So I'm going to connect the dots here. Connect the dots here. Connect the dots here. Connect. 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 Okay, so that's pretty much a rough graph of what it looks like. Not too perfect, but it's still clean. So, but what I'm showing you here is that the polygon, which is the line graph, that is based off the midpoints of each interval, and the histogram, that is the rectangular graph, connected rectangular graph, that is based off either the real limits or the boundary points in our book. Okay? They both have the same distribution shape. They don't change. They're representing the same data. It's just that how represented may differ. So I'm going to go ahead and color code these guys. So obviously the green is the histogram, while the black is the polygon. So how can I do this and put it into technology? How can I put it into a calculator? Well, it requires us modifying these guys, modifying and finding the midpoints. So now you think, okay, so how to find the midpoint? Well, your book says one thing, and I'm saying another. Okay. I'm saying that the midpoint should be between the boundaries. Okay. Your book says that the midpoint is between the intervals, okay, which is also correct. And if you're going to do it this way, you better be graphing boundaries, or else the midpoint will be a little bit off. So that's why they say, oh, since I'm doing boundaries, I'm going to do intervals. I'm okay, I'm low key, I'm still good. But if you're going to do real limits, and you do this as midpoints, it will be off. And that's where the contradiction occurs. So I keep it safe and I do boundary point, because that's what, when I'm ever using here for histogram, I'll be using the same things for the midpoint. That's what I do. But anyways, I also do the same over here. So if you're like, to me, I don't understand, but you need. So let me go ahead and erase this and get to what it is I'm trying to show. Okay. So the methods of midpoints. Ooh, let me go ahead and get my orange. So finding midpoint methods. So midpoint. And I'll show you how to do the calculator one. So we're going to go back to 1.1, the calculator page. So especially when over here, I try not to make new pages because it gets a little messy. So I just try to keep a predominant calculator page, a predominant this page, and the other graphs. And those will have new pages, so I could be able to go through all of them. But I only have one predominant calculator page and one predominant this page. Okay, I don't do more. Then you're going to be lost. And then if you're going to do a new problem, I would say save this document as whatever you want, and then just open a new one. That's the best thing to do. It's safe. It's safer that way. So come over here. Go back to it. So method 1. So this one, what you're saying here is I'm going to do lower limit plus the upper limit of the current task or the task we're focused on, and divide by 2. That's what your book says to do. Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So let's just look at the first one for our time's sake. So the first one, we have a lower limit of 10 and an upper limit of 25. So, 24. Okay. So now when I add them, okay, we're going to get pretty much, and then divide by 2. We're going to end up pretty much getting 34 over 2, which happens to be 17. Cool. So if we we have the calculator, we know to convert those boundary points. Could we grab the midpoint from there too? Why, yeah. That's how I did it when I grabbed it. So, the only difference what I'm saying here is, it also depends on what you have. So I'm saying the sum of the intervals, or in this case class, I'll put interval here, and my programs are produced in top class, because some books say interval, some books say class. Boundaries, B, P. We get some of those guys and divide by 2. This is method 2. So let's see that happen. So boundary points for that correspond to 10 is supposed to be 9.5, and the boundary point that corresponds to 24, because one is upper limit, so I'm going up half. That becomes 24.5, because that's not the real limit. That's not the real limit, that's just the limit, upper limit. Now, I'll divide by 2, and when we do the same work, it's going to end up becoming 34 again over 2, which is 17. So therefore, you can use either or, if, only if, your graph is based on boundaries. If it's based on midpoints, it has to be the midpoints. It has to be. I'm sorry, real limits. Then just change it to real limits. You can't do this one because then it'll be off. It won't be accurate. But anyways, let's go ahead and go to calculator, get these guys and see, okay, how do we find the rest of them? So I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy back on. And I'm going to, so notice how up here, one is not gone no more, but there's an arrow right next to 1.2 saying that there's a previous page. So I can hit the arrow, and what it will do is it will bring us back to 1.2, and, I hit 1.2. I wanted to hit the arrow. So make sure you're on the arrow, hit the arrow, and it drops, and it gets you to the 1.1. So I'm going to carry the calculator. So how can we get these things to work out the way it will work out? Okay. Here's our fraction bar. I haven't went to even try to find it for some reason. I don't know why I didn't do that. That's me being smart. Anyways, if I'm not mistaken, it should be over here. Oh, it's not. Just give me a few seconds, I'll find it. I totally forgot. Ah, there we go. So you have to hit this little guy right here. That shows all kinds of grouping symbols, because it turns out that a fraction is a grouping symbol. So once in a while, it was in one region. So we're going to come over here, and I'm going to choose the fraction part. There it is. Voila, it was a fraction. Thank you. So now what I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to the numerator, so it's going to be 9.5 plus 24.5. And in the denominator, it's supposed to be 2. So I just navigate using these directional arrows on the keypad or chesspad, and then I just work my way out. So obviously out, and it shows the big slash, the big line. So now I go to enter, and guess what? I get 17 again. And it was decimal there because sometimes it's a fraction, so it might become a decimal. So it's going straight to a decimal automatically. Try to go for it. So we got that situated. Nice, we're good. And so once again, we got the first limit, the first midpoint. So how do we find the rest of the midpoints? Well, the beautiful thing about distribution tables when you make it equal width is that we actually know all of them. So I'll put the midpoint here, and then we said the midpoint was going to be 17. So the same way, because once again, if you get the real limits, they are 10 away. If you get the boundary points, they were also, 15 away. Boundary point was also 15 away. And so it's consistent the way through. So what we can definitely do here is the same process. Well, if I added 15 to get to the next one, why don't I not do the same thing for the midpoint? Let me just add 15. And then add 15 again. Each time. So 17 plus 15 ends up becoming 32. Okay, and then right here should be 47, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to double check on the calculator. Okay, we can do this on the calculator. So I already got the first one up there. So all I'm going to do is, once again, I get the before, I'm going to add 15 to the result. And that gives me my 32, which is there. So now we're just going to constantly repeat the same order, same operation. So let's enter again, 47. So I'm good. Then it's 62, then it's 70, and then we have 92. So if over here, the next one over will be 62. That corresponding to this interval. And then we had 77. Nice. So one thing, so we have the interval that corresponds to the intervals that were given to us. But however, we can't, this is not going to give us the mountain. However, what we did here is I went one more interval below with the same class width and one more interval above with the same class width to get to the midpoint. So that means I'm doing one more extra plus 15 here. Make that better. So when I do the extra one and I accidentally get over there, it ends up becoming 92. I'll put this in black. I do have black with me. Good. Okay. So I'll put this one in black so it's distinguishable. 92. And this one here is supposed to correspond to the relative frequency of 0. It is supposed to be on the axis. And well, if I'm trying to get to the one prior to it, instead of adding to get bigger, I'm going to do the opposite operation, which is subtract to make it smaller. So it turns out 17 minus 15 is going to be 2. I use a calculator to check that, but I have high confidence. So this one here corresponds to the frequency of 0. So we're adding a few things. So we have to learn how to insert, and that's going to be no biggie. I'll show you how that works. So now what's happening here? Well, now what we're doing here is, since I have a new list that's going to this frequency, I'm gonna give it a new name, and I'll show you how to duplicate. It's very nice how you could actually copy this over and use it still, and I'll show you how that works. But now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be getting, what color do I have? I do red already. I'll do green now. I have green right there. I'm going to be getting these midpoints, and now I'm making this into this 4. Okay, and now I'm going to be getting its corresponding frequency, which is the new ones with the zeros in it, and I'll be making this 5. That's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to go back to the list, and I'm going to put these guys in here appropriately. I'm going to show you how we could insert and copy over a list. So let's go, and our list was supposed to be in 1.2. So I'm going to go ahead and click on 1.2. Here we are. I got my list back up here, or my spreadsheet. So I'm going to go to the side. If you want to put spacing, you put spacing. That's sort of to you. There's plenty of information over here, so you could enjoy yourself. So good spacing, so we won't be too confused. Come on. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and name this up here. I'm going to name this it's supposed to be this 4. So L4. Enter. And over here, I'm going to name it L5. Oops. Don't make sure the cursor is away from there, because it will change the page. Or just use the cursor. I did the mouse, so sometimes when I don't play it, it moves. So L5 goes here and enter. So now we're going to put the corporate information that goes with them. So the midpoint of where the midpoint we put in is 2. So 2 goes here. Then we put 17, followed by 32, followed by 47. Oops. Let me clear that real quick. 47. Followed by 62. I did it again. 62. Enter. And lastly, we have our, not lastly, we got 2 more, 77 and 92. There we go. Bam. So, once again, you can either choose to rewrite the these guys over here, or you could choose to copy. I'm going to teach you how to copy, so you could use it to your advantage in the future if you're going to be readjusting and changing things. Notice how we have the top one is your label, while the middle one here is your equals. And so what we're going to see here is when I actually do this, I'm going to have equals, and I'm going to enter here, and you can just pretty much just enter and just say, oh, alpha is going to equal 1. Well, I want it to be the same as list 3. So I'm going to just go ahead and put in here list 3. So when I enter it, it's going to say right here, do you want a cell reference? Don't do cell reference, do variable reference. Okay, you want the data. So over here, we're going to come over here, and I'm going to enter variable reference. And now I'm going to have OK. So what to do? Copy all the variables, the data. But we have a problem, right? The problem is that 6 is not supposed to be 6. The 2 is supposed to have a 0 that corresponds to it, and the 17 is supposed to have the 6. So I have to find a way to bring the 6 down. Well, there is a way to do that. So make sure that the 6 cell is highlighted. We're going to go to menu, and we're going to go to data, which is 3. So enter that, and there is something here called, I'm looking for insert. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. It's 2. So escape, go back, 2, insert. And they say, what do you want to insert? A row, column, cell? Well, cell is supposed to be selected, but for some reason it's not. So let me see what's wrong. Because I'm supposed to be able to insert right there. Okay, let me see. Something is wrong. Let me find out what's wrong. It's not supposed to be happening like that. Okay, I did it earlier. Let me see if I highlight it. Let me highlight it now. Let me see. Oh, insert happening there. That is amazing to what's happening there. Oh, you know, it could be because it's copied. That could be the issue because it's copying data. That's not good. So if that's going to be the case, I want to avoid it. I want to avoid the copying. And we just have to keep rewriting it in. Okay. Guess we have to avoid the copying. So, okay. Oh, wait. I thought I did that right. So, enter L3. Enter. Okay. Yes. And I did all this already. Okay. I want to say cell reference. Okay, that's not what I want. So let me just fiddle with this real quick. I do apologize. I'm trying to figure out why it's not working when I did it before. So over here, I want to enter this again, but I want it to be verbal reference and enter. Now I want to go over here. I want to insert, but it's still not giving me what I need. That is not cool. Fine. I guess I won't deal with that for right now. Maybe it's supposed to be working the way it's supposed to be working. I'll find out a different way because it's supposed to work. Anyways, how can I clear this without having to do anything? Well, you could go over here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to do select. So menu, actions, and we're supposed to be selecting. So select, and make sure we have the column selected. So we're going to column. So we're going to select the column. Now that that's the case, now we don't do that, we could press clear. So we're going to, clear is delete blue, so we're going to control and then clear, and everything clears out. Even the name, so we have to watch out for that. So I have to put L2, I want to put L5 back in, enter it, and now pretty much how funny how that thing comes back when it's not supposed to. Because remember, I guess I didn't play with it too much to realize, oh look, now that's how it's there. How funny, interesting. Okay, we're gonna do it that way then. Okay, I didn't mean for that to happen, but it's a ha moment for me. So when you do it, clear it. The expression has to get cleared, as what appears to be the case. Clear it, and then when you input 5 again, it's going to bring it back. So now this cell is available for me to insert. And now it's insertable. That's what I gotta do. Okay, so that's what we have to do from now on. So I'll repeat what I just did, so we can catch on to it. I'll do over here in cell 5. Over here, let me just do it real quick. So over here, I'm gonna give it a name. Well, over here, first I'm going to put L6 over now. L6, give it a label, enter. And then equals, I'm going to enter, and I'll put L4, or L3, like it's supposed to be, L3. That's 4, delete, 3, and enter. And once again, it's supposed to be, we're supposed to be doing variable, reference, and okay. So it's there. But notice how we still see this, right? So what I'm going to do, once again, I'm going to have it selected over here, and I'm going to do menu. And I'm going to do action. And I'm going to choose select. And then I'm going to choose column. And over here, I'm going to do control clear. So it's going to clear the operation that's done. Enter it. And now, when I go back over and I rewrite L6, it will come back and the expression won't be there no more. And enter, and it comes back, and then notice how the expression is not there no more. So now see that's just data. That's what we have to do. Remember, we're copying and want to insert, we have to do that. So now, what I do now is I go over here and I go to menu, I go to insert now, and I choose insert cell, and it pushes everything down. Okay, figured it out. Sorry about that. I thought I had it the first time, but I guess I forgot. So over here I don't need no more, so I'm just go ahead and do the same thing. Action. I'm going to select everything. So column, and then control clear, and that. Okay, so back over here. So now it's clear, so I'm going to put 0 there to indicate that it's supposed to be the 0. And when I do that, it's supposed to be 0. So I'll put the 0. Enter. So now everything is equivalent for the midpoints of each interval. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to go ahead and open a new graph. So I'm going to do menu, data, enter, and I'm going to do a summary plot. So now, so just do the summary plot. Doesn't ask you what you want it for. Remember, ours is this 4 and this 5, so we have to keep it consistent. So this 4 for the list, because that's midpoint, scores, measurements, and 5 is supposed to be the corresponding frequency. So let's make sure we have that set entered. So over here, it's supposed to be this 4, and over here, it's supposed to be this 5. There we go. And what we do not split the page. We don't want to split the page. So we're going to have open page at all times. Once all that's set up, go down and make sure OK it's highlighted, and you could enter. So it goes on to this again, but we don't want the histogram or this paragraph that we're making. We don't want this. What we want is the line graph. So, and that's where we're going to get the plotting from. So I'm going to go to menu, and I'm going to go to plot type. Enter, and the option I'm going to do here is not going to give me an option. It's supposed to give me an option. I'm trying to get here to the XY line. That's what I'm trying to get to. Let me see this real quick. I found it very interesting to why I did that. there's the traffic, the great, the place we'll be doing later on. That is weird. Let me see the bunker. It's supposed to have worked. I don't know why it didn't work. So I have to choose 6. It's not giving us for 6. Why is it not doing that? I have corresponding points. It's supposed to work. Okay. Well, I have to figure that out. It's supposed to be working. I remember playing with it a long time ago, and it really did work, and I was making them. So I guess I have to practice that more and get that in. Okay. Well, I do apologize for that, and I will see to it that I will figure that out. Or here. Let me see what this says. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll do that later then. But let me see, I'm gonna try a different approach. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna try to open a new page. So I'm gonna do control, add a page, and I'm gonna go over here and do graph. Add graphs, and see if this works. So I'm gonna add graph, enter, and it does that. So I'll use showing the points. Oh, it's not working. So control. Oh, it's supposed to be data statistics. That's what's supposed to be, not the graph. Enter. Does that. So over here we do menu, and it's not going to pop type until press something here. Okay. Look over here. It's supposed to be 4. It goes here, and over here it's supposed to be 5. So that's what I was trying to get. So now I'm gonna go to plot type, enter, and there it is. It's supposed to be given X by 9. I just need to disconnect the point. That's all I need to do. I'm trying to figure out why is it not doing that option. I think it is. It's just the line's not there properly. Connect data points, yes. Just 1. There we go. Ooh, sorry. I was frustrated for a second because it worked straight from over there, but I had to do some manipulations. So, okay, let me repeat this. I'm sorry, it's a little longer. Let me repeat this so we can make sure we're doing it right. So, all I did was I went to, open a new page. So I did control page where documents at, and I went over here and I opened up the data. So this might be a safer, easier way in the future because it also could be other things. Depending on Polygon, you might have to do this. So I hit that and enter. So this for us, and then now we choose what's supposed to be on the x-axis. Well, that was supposed to be the midpoint because it was L4. So I choose L4, and over here was supposed to be the corresponding frequencies for that midpoint, which was L5. And enter. So now it makes this dot product, which looks just like what we had before. So all we gotta do here, and we press menu, it's clearly saying that the product type, when you enter it, it's saying the product type is the line graph, and that's what we wanted. During environments, it's not connected to points. So what we're going to do here is we're going to escape that, go to properties, enter it, and right here, number one, it says connect the points, yes. So I'm going to enter with 1, and there it is. We have our graph. And there's our polygon. Okay? Sorry for the mishap that happened here. I thought I had it. I really didn't think I had it. But I guess I had to change some adjustments. But I'll see if I can get to that menu of graphing. That's where it's supposed to be coming from. But anyways, this is how we graph the polygons and histograms that correspond to permanent data or table that we have shown. Okay? So the next video you'll be seeing is permanent going to be, okay, how can I do relative frequencies, the different type of relative frequencies and histograms for relative frequencies using the nspire. Okay?